work on a super yacht, move up through the ranks, and maximize your potential.
Hello and welcome back. Now today I am on watch or on duty, which basically means that I am looking after the yacht for the next 24 hours. This is not to be confused with a navigational bridge watch or an anchor watch. It is specifically for when we are in port. And regardless of which department you work in, this will affect your life on board. On smaller yachts, like this one, you'll typically only have one watchkeeper at a time, and so they will need to take care of the deck rounds, the interior rounds, and checking all of the engineering spaces. On a larger yacht, you'd have two watchkeepers at any one time. So one of them would take care of the deck and engineering spaces, and then the other would take care of the interior spaces. And then on a larger yacht again, you'd have maybe 4 watchkeepers. Officer watch, deck watch, interior watch, and engineering watch. I often get asked, what do you do when there are no guests on board? Well, this is not like your house or your car, which when you're not using it, you can just lock up and leave alone. No. There's a lot of regulation that requires people to be on board, and of course your insurance company is really going to want to know that there's someone on board at all times, because of course there's a much greater threat of fire and flooding if there's no one on board to react to any alarms. The yacht and her systems need constant attention, and we also need to make sure we know what's going on around the yacht. Are other yachts leaving, or maybe coming back in, and we need to adjust fenders? Maybe there's some bad weather coming in, and we need to be on standby with extra lines and extra fenders. On board this yacht, the watch runs from 5 in the evening until 5 the following evening. It is 4:57, so I will now meet with the previous watchkeeper, who will brief me on anything that's going on board. Are we expecting any bad weather? Are there contractors still working on board? Are all of the doors locked? That sort of thing. And then I shall take over the watch, and I'll walk you through what I'm doing for the next 24-hour period. Okay, so I've just had the watch handed over to me. I'm told there's no issues, but I always like to come outside, have a quick look round for myself, just get a sense of how things are out here. Currently crouching down behind the bar to get out of the wind, but apart from that, no problems with the weather. I think we're expecting a bit of rain later on, but we'll see. And the first thing to do is going to be to set up the dinner table. Right, that's that done. And it's just those sorts of little things, those little duties that the watchkeepers know they need to do, which just helps the yacht to run that little bit more smoothly. Dinner is out now, and the crew will be able to help themselves as they wish, and in about an hour we'll pack everything away and put it in Tupperwares, and then if people want to eat after that, they can always go to the fridge and grab whatever they want. I must now station myself somewhere where I have access to a screen which displays the current boarding point. That allows me to see what's going on, see if there are any breaches of security, say, and there's an alarm. I'll also hear alarms like that, which lets me know if there's a door being opened, or maybe there's a water tank that's low and needs filling. We have a screen up here in the bridge, and also one down in the crew mess, which is typical for most yachts, so depending on where you want to be, you can either choose to be up here or down there. It's not necessary to stare at the screen, it's enough just to be sat in front of it, and you can glance up every so often. Of course, down in the crew mess, you've also got a TV that you can watch, or up here, I can grab a magazine or a book. It's just being a presence on board and being aware of what's going on around us. Having said that, if the captain walks in and sees you looking like this, don't be surprised if you get asked a few questions. It's 6 o'clock and I'm just out here doing another round of the exterior. We do them once every hour during the evening, and of course I'll also need to check the interior and engineering spaces. Now, as I said before, on a larger yacht there will be an interior watchkeeper and an engineering watchkeeper to take care of that, but on this size yacht it's just one of us at a time, and we have to take care of everything. There's nothing difficult here, it's just a check to make sure that everything's in order and that there aren't any funny smells or noises, or we can't hear water running where there shouldn't be. Sunset is at 6:43 today, and it's important to note this because we switched the lights on 10 minutes beforehand, so that'll be 6:33, and then we'll lower the ensign at sunset. Speaking of sunsets, check this one out. before then, I think I'm just going to quickly take the opportunity to clear away the dinner. And now it's just the dishwasher to fill up. I then leave this for Chef to empty in the morning. Right, what's next? Ah yes, lights and then the ensign. And by ensign, I mean the flag that's at the stern of the yacht. Being careful to not allow the ensign to touch the deck, I'm then going to fold it neatly, revealing a nice little triangle like this. All neat and tidy, ready for me to collect in the morning. Okay, so we have cleared up the dinner, switched on the lights, taken down the ensign. I've done the 7 o'clock round, so there'll be another round at 8, then again at 9, at which point I'll take out the garbage and I'll check in with you guys before heading down to bed at 9:30. There is a screen down in the crew mess that has the alarm system on it, so if there are any alarms during the night, that will alert me, and it will also likely alert the chief engineer and the captain, and we can respond accordingly. Okay then, that's the garbage taken out. It's 9:20, so I'm just doing the final round of the yacht, triple checking that all the doors are locked, that everything is secure. I'm actually really quite tired, so once I'm done here, I'm going to go straight to bed. Watch duties start again at 7:30 in the morning, so I look forward to seeing you then. Good morning. It is just about 7:15. Usually come up here to the pantry first, grab myself a coffee, then I'll do a round of the interior. I can't show you that, but afterwards we'll go outside, we'll do a round of the exterior, and I think we're in line for a pretty spectacular sunrise. For me, it's still not quite as good as an AeroPress, but it does save on time and washing up. Okay, so I've just had a look around the interior. All looks good, all in order. No funny smells, no funny noises, no drips, no leaks, so all good, happy with that. We can now head outside, but before we do that, I'll just unlock the doors as necessary. So we'll start by doing these 2 doors in the bridge. Then it's just the crew door and the door down to the engine room. Remember this from that washdown video I did? Anyway, it's still pretty dark out here, but we're just going to head up to the foredeck, show you that sunrise, and then carry on with the rest of the duties. Not a bad way to start the morning, hey? And this time of year, it's pretty much like this every single day. Amazing. Whilst we're up here, we can check to make sure that the lines are all good, all secure, working properly. We'll then
walk down the sides, check the fenders, proximity to the yacht's either side. We'll have a look at the lines on the aft, then we'll head down into the garage and we'll check the engine room, check that there's no funny smells, sounds, what have you down there. And then it'll be about time to switch off the lights, and 0800 we will raise the ensign. This one is making plenty of noise as usual, but it is still doing its job. As you can see, there's plenty of space between us and the yacht next door, so it's just a case of checking that the fenders are A, there, B, right height, and C, that the hooks are still secure and all tidy. Down here on the aft deck, it's again checking that the lines are secure, also checking the passerelle, making sure that hasn't dropped or isn't in danger of hitting anything on the dock. That's all good, so I'll now carry on up to the bridge deck and then the sun deck. It's just checking things like doors. Is there any signs of tampering? Or any of the covers blown off? Any of the furniture moved around? Basically just checking that everything has stayed where it's supposed to. No one's been on board, no one's messed around with anything, nothing's out of order. I think we've just about caught the best of that sunrise before. It's all looking good up here. As you can see, not only did it rain, but there's also a lot of dew this morning, so the decks are quite slippery, got to be a bit careful there. From here, it's also a good place to check proximity to the yachts on either side, because you get a really good vantage point. I'm happy with that, so let's head back down and then we'll have a look in the engine room. Both of the engines are still here, so that's a bonus. And then it's just a case of checking to make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary, that there's no water pooling in the bilges, and if there were any problems, we'll be straight to the chief engineer to let them know. It's now 7:56, 10 minutes after sunrise, so I'll go and switch off the lights. Now back up to the bridge, grab the ensign, and we should be right on time. Exactly where I left her. And that's it, all of the morning watch duties complete. The rest of the crew are up now, so together we will take care of the safety and security of the vessel, but I'll see you again just before 12 for a quick round of the exterior before I head down for lunch. It's not 12 yet, but I've just been informed that the yacht next door is leaving. Our ground lines are running across their bow at the moment, so we're going to need to slack our ground lines to allow them to get out. Most importantly, before I slack these lines, I've made sure to put someone down on the main deck aft just to check that we're not at risk of hitting the dock, that the passerelle is up and out of the way, and that everything remains secure back there. They've now got plenty of space to get out. The next job will be to watch the fenders as they go out, move them as necessary until they're well clear of the berth. And now we get to enjoy a nice bit of breathing space. It's just before 12 now, so I'm going to do another quick round of the exterior of the yacht, see that everything's okay, and then I'm going to head down for some lunch. All I'm doing is checking to make sure that nothing's out of the ordinary. It's just really about keeping an awareness of what's going on around us. One thing that I didn't point out before was all of those cables. We've got the shore power cable, and we've also got the water hose that's connected to the tap on the dock that allows us to get fresh water on board. You must check those to make sure that they're not too tight, they're not being strained, but also that they're not too loose and not dipping into the water. Of course, an electric shore power cable, that definitely doesn't want to go in the water, but neither does the water hose, because it can actually start to draw seawater through the plastic. That's all looking good to me, so I'm going to head down for lunch because I'm hungry, and then, save for any other yacht movements, I will see you again just before 5 when I'll be doing my last rounds and handing over to the next watchkeeper. Okay, so it's just before 5 and I'm out doing my final round, checking that everything's good, basically reversing what we did this morning, locking up all of the doors, etc. And then I'll go and hand over the watch to the next watchkeeper. As I said at the beginning, the safety of the yacht is of paramount importance, and so it's a big part of life on board. The watch is therefore a great responsibility, and I must say that it's really quite nice when you can eventually hand that responsibility onto someone else at the end of the watch, stand down and relax for a bit, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. As always, thank you so much for watching. A like would be fantastic, a sub would be amazing, and I very much look forward to seeing you next time.